Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show. Michael Grebas joining us here again, our founder and CEO of Create It Now Coach. That's what he does. He's a national speaker. He's a relationship coach, life coach, business coach, and so much more, helping so many. Live life by design is what he says. And yes, guess what? You can create it now. Call Michael at 719-339-7402. Visit the website. It's his name, Michael, MichaelGrebas.com. Welcome back. Ready for a dose of this inspiration that you offer. You're on fire last time, and I know you'll be lighting up again soon.
Well, thank you very much, Jill. It is wonderful to be here because I know with your incredible reach, you're able to touch so many lives. And that is a gift. So you are a gift to all of us. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you. Stop. But we all are. We all have our gifts and our talents, and you're sharing yours today. For those new time listeners and viewers, would you mind just telling us a little bit about your background and who you are as Michael Grebas, you and the coach aspect of it, so we can get to know you a little bit?
Well, thank you very much. Yeah, I was born and raised here in Colorado Springs at the foot of Pikes Peak, which is 14,000 feet of Rocky Mountain thunder. And I hiked, biked, rollerblade, and I just am out there all the time. And I spent a little bit of time in an orphanage, a foster home. It was a pretty rough upbringing. And then I joined the Army and the Air Force, traveled around the world, and I found I was doing a tremendous amount of leadership and troop development. And I found that I was doing coaching before I even knew what a coach was. And so after I got out of the military, I was able to work with a marketing advertising company. And I found I was coaching a lot of CEOs and a lot of personnel in the company. So a lot of my history here is about real life opportunities, helping people overcome any challenge that they are facing, whether it's personal, relationship, or business, Jill. And that's what this is all about. Sometimes we have to work in all three areas at one time.
Amazing. Look at his credentials. I mean, the man who does so much, you've been through so much, and at the same time, he's teaching others and giving back, and really with your job, which is great. Like, you never even knew you were just being you and doing what you did best. And hey, it's called coaching. So yeah, we're talking about determination, commitment, and results. And he's here as a professional coach to discuss more about how you yourself, yes, you can live life by design. He's helped so many. And how many years have you been doing this now? Excuse me.
I've been coaching for over 20 years and really doing the most intensive dynamic work in the last 10 to 15 years.
Beautiful. Tell us a little bit about what you want to, your audience to know today. I know you want to make changes. You want to help people. Where did you want to start for today?
Well, let's go ahead and start with the belief system of who you are. What is your state of being? And that's one of the biggest challenges we have in our world today. As we walk into work, we're all in turmoil. We've had tough time on the road getting into work, even some road rage times. And so we walk in frustrated. So our state of being is in the wrong place, who you are. So today, let's talk about your state of being. And hopefully, I just seen a little thing come up on my screen that said the internet may have been disconnected. Are you still able to hear me?
Yes, you're in and out. You're cutting out.
Oh, darn it. They worked on the internet.
Got it. We're good. We're good again.
Okay, so I don't know how much of what you just heard.
Repeat it.
Okay. So what we're going to be talking about is your state of being. How are you showing up? So you're on your way to work, and all of a sudden you got road rage, you're angry, you're frustrated, and that's how you show up to work. And let's also go into how are you showing up in your relationship. So when you come home from work, you're angry, you're frustrated. You may even be just raging against the world. Now, that's what you're bringing into the relationship. That's what you're bringing bringing into work. And it all goes to, what is your state of being? Are you in a positive, beautiful state of being, even though we have challenges? And Jill, you have challenges throughout the day. So when you're dealing with challenges, what are some of the thoughts that come to your mind about the biggest issue that you have? Oh, I'm interviewing you, so excuse me.
No, it's fine. You can. You can.
So what would be a challenge that you have faced that would be something that I think a lot of your listeners would be asking about?
Challenges. I think a challenge in women in the workforce, that problem still exists. It has existed. And many years ago, I had a few examples of places where I've been employed where it was more of a sexist, male-dominating field, and there were certain things that we are expected to do, a way to act, and it was just horrible looking back, saying how I can't believe I was so quiet, and I would let people talk to me this way. But it's something I've learned with experience after becoming a mother, after I would just never take that. But you walk, and it happens to men too, but you walk that fine line between, I have a job. I don't want to lose my job. I need to appease them and tell them what's right, what they want to hear, and not speak my mind. So I've had trouble in that department, and I'm sure a lot of people can. How do you be your true self and not let someone, push you down? It's very difficult, right? When that's the person with your paycheck. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and see, that goes to the very core of what we're talking about, your state of being, what you believe to be true about yourself. Yeah. So I belong to the E-Women Business Networking. It's an incredible networking around the world with over 550,000 members, business professional women, and they do allow males in there. They call us emails, and it is so much fun. So, Jill, I've learned how to speak womanese. And what happens a lot of times in those meetings is women will express the very thought, feeling, and emotion that you just did here. And Sandra Yancey, a phenomenal lady, the CEO and founder of E-Women Networking, absolutely incredible. And she talks about how ladies need to be able to step up and really believe and trust in themselves. So that goes back to your state of being. And like we had talked about before, is your state of being in a negative construct? So if you're sitting there right now, and don't do this while you're driving, you want to put your palm just right out in front of you, facing downwards. And as you do that, you're going to create a negative thought, a negative idea, and it's going to create a negative construct. And so you're going downward into this pit of despair. And what happens is your state of being is in so much pain and anguish, and you want a positive outcome. So think about it. How do you go from this painstaking place, a state of being, into a positive outcome?
How do you do it?
Yeah, and that is the biggest challenge. Everyone's sitting here, they're asking themselves just what you asked. How do you do it? Well, here's what you do. You stop, take a deep breath, and you breathe in to the count of 4. You breathe out to the count of 4. Now, the reason we do this is because we're living in a stressed out world, and we're always amped up and stressed. So what happens is our autonomic system kicks in, the fight, flight, or freeze. When that kicks in, you immediately have cortisol and adrenaline, and you have dopamine rushing into your body and through your whole system. And then you start breathing a little bit shallower, a little quicker in the higher part of your lungs. Well, that is normally reserved for when we have a predator, when we see something as we're in a place of danger. And that's what happens. So that stress now has got you in a bad place. So your state of being, again, is in that negative place. By breathing, by taking a moment and saying, there is no direct threat. I'm not going to die. I'm okay. You disrupt that autonomic system and you put it on pause going, I'm okay. So everything starts to settle down. And then you can shift in that moment, because what happens is the subconscious is activated in that moment.
Okay.
And then when you breathe, you say, there's no threat. I'm okay. I'm not going to die. And all of a sudden you shift to the frontal cortex of your brain. And that's where you can now start making conscious decisions on how to deal with whatever stressful situation is in front of you. But you need that disconnect. Once you have that disconnect, then you can turn your palm over and start going in a forward positive motion. And in that moment, and here's the key, Jill, this is so great, is you're going to be able to say, now, what positive, powerful action can I take? Do I need more information? Do I need support? Do I need clarity? Understanding? Do I need to step back because I'm too close to a situation that's very volatile? See, in that moment, you get to take charge of what's going on. You may not be able to control the outcome, but you get to take charge of your state of being in that moment. And in that, you become the commander in chief. You become the general. You become the author, the writer of your story. And what's the next sentence you're going to write in your story? Are you a story writer, Jill?
I used to be a journaler, and but now I'm more of like into visualization. I put a post-it up and call it a day. Don't have time to write, but I used to.
See, I love it because that's bullet point thinking. And that's where you don't have to have these big paragraphs, overthink things. You got a bullet point, and right now you can start seeing a pattern show up. So think about this. If I'm frustrated on my way out the door, I'm frustrated in my driving to work, I get frustrated at the boss, employees, and people around me. Then I get frustrated in my drive home. I'm frustrated with my spouse, my kids, or lack of success. Look at how my state of being is in such a negative zone. And I'm wanting something good to come out of my life. I want to make something positive and powerful happen. So what we do is, after we're breathing and we disrupt the autonomic system, then, Jill, the next thing we do is we start looking at, what are we putting in our mouths? What are we putting in our ears? What are we seeing with our eyes? What are we putting into our brain? And how many times have we seen things we're like, what a waste of time. I just watched another 3 episodes on Netflix and I'm binge watching again, and it did nothing for me.
Yeah. You're right. I've been there, done that.
Yes, I've even done that last night. So I love binge watching some things. And so when you think about it, when you put and have incredible people around you, and you have people who want you to be successful, and then you now are believing you're going to be successful. So remember, let's go back just a little bit. In that negative construct that we have here, we're not believing that we're good people. We're making good decisions. We don't trust ourselves. We're not going into a great place. We don't have good environment and good thoughts and emotions going on. Now, in contrast, what is going to be the outcome of that equation?
Well, I guess it all depends, right? I mean, we want the best. Will it happen? I don't know.
Well, see, and that is exactly why we have that thought now that we need to bring to the surface.
Okay.
Because when you say, I want to be and I don't know, those are powerless, weak thoughts, ideas, phrases, mindsets. So now I went into this one financial planner because he's like, Mike, my business is not going well. My boss says either I make a lot more people working with me and investing, or I'm going to be fired. So Joe, here's what he did. He told me in the first 5 minutes of our meeting, everything he's not going to do. He's going, I'm not going to be like the other guy. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing this. And he went on for 5 minutes. And I looked at him and I said, are you done? And he goes, yeah, so what did you think? And I said, well, I'm not going to be using you because you told me everything you're not going to do. And I'm here to find out what you are going to do. So when you say, I don't know and I want to be, those are powerless, weak thoughts, ideas, mindset, and beliefs. Now, let me tell you what I am going to do. Let me show you how I have come so far in my life, business, and relationship that I bring the best of myself to you. So whether that's work, relationship, or business, you're going to get the most intensive, beautiful, aggressive Michael that has your best interest in mind.
Michael?
Yeah, I
You
am
said
here.
keep our best interest in mind.
Yeah.
And then you froze. Yes.
Oh, I'm so going to be talking to them about the internet here.
Oh, good. It's okay. It's okay.
So with the best of me, I bring the best people around me. And Jill, that's why it is wonderful to be able to connect and be here with you on this podcast. Because again, you are a bright, shining light for so many people. You represent what a lot of little girls are dreaming of, and that is being a dynamic, beautiful, successful business professional.
Yes. Yes. I like the words. Those are more. Yes. I like that. Thank you.
Yeah. And here's the way I talk. That's a matter of fact. That's not
Yes.
a matter of Michael's opinion. It is simply a matter of fact. So, as you being a woman in business, when you say, now, I'm going against men in business, what that does is it puts you in the mindset of an MMA fight where there's conflict. So your state of being is in the wrong place. And as I've worked with a lot of women, and at times I've had 80% of my clients have been women, and then all of a sudden, for some reason, it'll shift. It'll go 20% women, 80% men. So this principle applies across the board. When you show up believing, trusting, knowing that you know your job, your industry, knowing that you have the experience and the knowledge and the wisdom, and you're able to overcome whatever problem that is in the company because your mindset is from a fixed mindset that nothing can change, nothing can be better, to an opportunist mindset that says, I am growing, I am developing, I am successful. Because look at you. You're on an international podcast as a host. I mean, that is incredible success in our world today.
To each his own, right? I feel successful. I've had a dream job. I'm able to talk to people on television and radio my whole life. So, but I worked hard for it and I was committed, and a lot of hard work and a lot of free time, internships, and just doing everything I could because I had a passion for it. And then it's kind of like the climb though, Michael. Once you're here and I've been here, it's like, not so great. Oh, I love my job, but maybe I should have done something different, or the grass could always be greener, which then becomes the next problem. But we can now coach our mind to the next level. And it's all about the climb to get there, I think, like the Miley Cyrus song.
Yes. And Matthew McConaughey has a wonderful thought and philosophy about this. He was asked one time, who is your hero? And he thought about it and he said, myself in 10 years. And he goes, because as I'm growing and developing, I see myself in 10 years achieving this certain goal, this certain idea, this certain status in life. And then all of a sudden, I arrive there in 10 years, and the interview goes, okay, so then in 10 years, who's going to be your hero? He goes, me in another 10 years. Because and I know as soon as I heard that, I'm like, wow, that was profound. Because we need to be our own heroes. We need to be the ones who capture not where we are today, what is possible for the future. And then when we hit those goals, like you were talking about, you realize that there's more to you. You're more
Yep.
capable. Now you have grown, you have shaped yourself. Now you have so much more skills and abilities. So now my question is when are you going to become the CEO of this company?
Right? Yeah, that's exactly it. I always said, now I wish I had the entrepreneurial brain. No offense to my boss. I love you, but to do it by yourself, right? That's would be the next step.
Yeah,
And
because you believe in you.
and this is where you can help someone increase from a personal level to an executive level and then a professional level, I should say. Yes.
Yeah. And then think about that, Jill. I'm going to do that in my relationship. I'm going to do that in my life. So this morning, I'm up at 5 a.m. I'm exercising, working out in my home gym. I've got motivational videos playing in the background. I'm just working hard, focused on growing and developing. And Jill, at 64, it's incredible to know that I can still do this. And I'm doing this so when I hit 74 and 84, it's going to help me be the best I can be.
Wow, powerful. Yes, you can. You can do it. You got to get rid of that negative mindset.
Yes. And that's what it's all about, your state of being. So for everybody today, let's recap. You're going to be able to see that there's a lot of negativity in the world. Stop, breathe, disrupt that, and then see the negative connotations, see the negative self-talk that you're doing. And when you have negative self-talk, you're only going to create more problems because that's all you see is failure and problem. When you flip that over and you get into a place of positive, powerful mindset, belief system, self-trust, self-love, self-development, all of a sudden your world just changes and it's beautiful and it's dynamic, even when there's problems and challenges.
Well, we're going to get through them and you can help us together, right? By working together. How does it work to work with a coach like you? Come on.
Well, one of the great things about it is you just call me and within minutes, you're going to see the power of coaching because you're going to bring your challenges, your opportunities, and your life, business, and relationship. And we're going to give you answers right here, right now. That's why I'm the Create It Now coach, because we don't hold back. This is your life. Let's get the most out of it right here, right now. Just call me.
How do we call you? What's the number?
719-339-7402.
Perfect. And the website, michaelgrebas.com. That's michaelgrebas.com. But don't sell yourself short. We still got 3 minutes left.
Oh, well, fantastic. So with that in mind, then, for everyone who is listening today, we don't know how much time we have. And Les Brown gives this great little story. You're in your hospital bed, and all around you are your dreams, your hopes, your thoughts of what you could have been, should have been, and were not. And think about that. How many of those are going to be standing around your bed? Well, I am telling you right here, right now, let's let none of them show up in your deathbed. Let's let you live and create this incredible life you deserve. Because see, is the life getting the most out of you, or are you getting the most out of life? Answer that question, and then let's get to work and let's make it happen.
Oh, I love it. Thank you so much. Create It Now coach, Michael Grebas, 719-339-7402, right?
Yes, that's beautiful. So yeah, make the step today.
I love it. And check out a lot of his testimonials on YouTube. He's got some amazing clients who he's helped transform their lives. And it's always great to hear testimonials and to work with you. Any tip of the day you want to leave off with for today?
Take a step back, start trusting and believing in yourself, and do not let any of the negative things in your eyes, your ears, your mouth take charge of your life, and everything will change in that moment.
Perfect. Sounds like a plan. Thanks. Pleasure having you back here. Looking forward to next time. And yeah, this is great stuff. I'm glad we have the internet's better. It wasn't great this time, but it was better, right? And
Yes, much better.
and next time, even if you want, we can even if you want to bring on a guest, you could bring on someone that you've coached or worked with. We could always do that. That's fun. Just a suggestion, not necessary. But if there's someone you want to bring on, let's do it.
Sounds wonderful. I appreciate the offer.
Thank you. No, I appreciate you. Have a great day. Thanks so much and enjoy the rest of your week. Live life by design. Never too late to start. Call Michael. Bye.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.